Greetings and salutations. Welcome to another episode of 365 Days of Gaming. Appreciate you taking out time to check out this video. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Much appreciated in advance. Now, I've been waiting to talk about this game and also pretty much every other game that this company, particular developer, made. We're talking about EA Big. So I wanted to there's going to be a bunch of EA Big games. Let me just get that out of the way. But I had a hard time figuring out what EA Big game that I want to jump in with first, because they had a run that I felt like was unprecedented, where you could give them anything kind of activity, sports related, and they were just going to knock it out of the park. So the first EA Big game that's going to come up in this series is the one, the only Def Jam Vendetta. Now, I know some of you are thinking, what about Fight for New York? Everybody talks about Fight for New York, and Fight for New York will get its just due. It will get its flowers. It will get the reverence that it deserves. But I wanted to talk about Def Jam Vendetta because without Vendetta, you don't get Fight for New York. And I think a lot of people overlook Def Jam Vendetta because of Fight for New York, because Fight for New York is that good to where you don't think about the original one. But I always felt like this game, it holds a special place for me because I'm a big wrestling fan. I love pro wrestling, watch it, enjoy it. Don't want to have discussion about it because it's pro wrestling. Don't care if you don't like it. But for a long time in video games, there was the Aki group, or AKI, and the Ukes group that made most of the wrestling games that people think about when they talk about the golden age of wrestling games, right? They did the WCW versus NWO Revenge. They did the No Mercy games. And then all of a sudden you just kind of didn't see them anymore. And then you see the Def Jam Vendetta game has pretty much the same style of gameplay. You got your grab button, you got your strike, the movement is pretty much the same engine. And I really like this engine. I like the way the game plays, I like the way it feels. It's very loose. It's all about timing, so you can counter pretty much everything. It's gonna be countering and tapping buttons really fast, which that's all you need. And then you also got the 4-player aspect. And then on top of that, they took something as nowhere near pro wrestling as hip hop and took a bunch of famous rappers and made up a whole bunch of other characters and created this whole like Def Jam Vendetta world, which again leads into Fight for New York. So I wanted to showcase the game that laid the groundwork for one of the best, I want to say, combat sports games ever made. And again, this is just what EA Big was doing at the time. It was, you could do motocross, you could do snowboarding, basketball, football, soccer, like whatever you wanted to do, give it to EA Big and let them have at it. Unfortunately, their run wasn't as long as we would all have hoped, but I think we need to celebrate that run by starting off with one of these games. This isn't the first game in the EA Big series, but this is one of my favorite games personally. You get to do the story mode that they created where you are filling in for your boy. You got some history with some people that's in this fight club. The main villain, his name is D-Mob, and he runs things and he rules with an iron fist, and he's got a whole list of people you got to go through before you can even start to look at challenging the king. So you got to climb the ladder, right? You gotta, based on your performance, you get money, you can upgrade your character. And the more you upgrade your character and progress in the story, your moves even start to change. Your finishing moves don't change, but like a lot of your other moves start to change. It's like your character's getting better and you can see the improvements. And I thought that was really cool. Again, they take it a step further in Fight for New York, but this is the foundation. This is the groundwork. This is where all of the ideas first started coming to fruition. And you can see how they got to Fight for New York from this game. Controls are pretty easy, right? X to grapple. You have light grab, or you can hold it to do a strong grab. Same with your attacks with square. You can either tap it or you can hold it to do strong attacks. Then you add directions to the move. So everybody's move list is pretty in depth. You got jumping off rope moves. You have, moves where you go on the top turnbuckle. Some people can, do different moves from the top of the turnbuckle. Some of them only do like corner attacks. But again, there's so many different characters, so many move sets. Also, you have men and women fighters, which I thought was really cool. And in the story mode, women only fight women. But when you want to do actual, versus mode, you can pick any character against any character. And everybody has their own stats. Of course, the later you fight against someone, the stronger their stats are. But this was a game where it was about skill. So if you know how to play better, if you time better, if you know how to counter, you can beat anybody with any character. And I really thought that was really cool. It didn't get as crazy as it does with Fight for New York, with some of the different characters and styles mixed together. But I've always enjoyed this game. It was one of the games that I hoped somehow would get an HD remake. But, based on all the licensing issues and different parties and people not even on the same record labels anymore, probably won't get it. I'm never going to talk about any of the Def Jam games or anything Def Jam related after Fight for New York, because there's no point. It went bad real fast, and that's just something that was very unfortunate. So I want to celebrate Def Jam Vendetta. I know you've played this. I know you know about this game. Who's your favorite character? Especially through the story. Who'd you run through the story with? Who did you play during, 4-player battles? This is one of those games that takes full advantage of the 4-player aspect. Whether you're playing it on PlayStation 2 with a multi-tap or you're playing on GameCube or Xbox, it's always a great time. This is one of those, the more chaos, the better. And I also like that you can pin people or you can knock them out, because sometimes it's very hard to pin or submit people. It's just easy if you can get them in danger. Do your finishing move and put them in dirt. And that's what we do. Also, the game can be difficult. And I really appreciated it, because at one point I felt like games were getting really, really easy, especially these type of games. And if they decide they want to give you that work, as you saw with Scarface, they will put you in the dirt. It's not always easy to get through these people. And somebody like D-Mob is just controller reading and doing what he wants to. So we didn't even make it to him for this video. But yeah, talk to me about this game. Let me know what you were thinking when you played it. And we'll be back again shortly. Appreciate you taking that time to check out the video. Have fun. Be safe. Peace.